A very good morning, class 11th. So, very quickly, we finished our chapter that is locomotion and movement. Actually, that chapter is only we have completed those topics which are going to come this time in your exams. But for your NEET, you have to read, you have to go through complete chapter. So now I'm going to start with the neural control and regulation. It is again the same that is like the locomotion and movement from this chapter also. So many things which are have been deleted, so we will definitely discuss those things which are mentioned in our revised syllabus, right? So today I'm taking the basic neurons as well as central nervous system. We are going to start with that, and then we will talk about the peripheral nervous system. So this is our first lecture on the human nervous system, and many things you people already know from class 11th, right? So I'm not going to talk about them in very much detail, which you already know. I'm going to add up few points which we need in our class 11th. So human nervous system, when we say first you need to understand their classification, very 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 important, that actually this nervous system is how many types. Mainly if I say, it is of two main parts. One is our central nervous system, CNS, we call this as the CNS, and another is peripheral nervous system, which we call as the PNS. And central nervous system, now so we have discussed this thing, we have talked about this CNS in many chapters, so we know that that is the contains that includes brain and spinal cord. And peripheral, when you see periphery, it means they are going to the other parts of the body. It means we are talking about here nerves, right? Because ultimately there should be a connection with your main system. So who is making that connection? That is the nerves. So peripheral nervous system includes mainly nerves, and they are of two types. One is the cranial nerves and another is the spinal nerves. Cranial nerves, cranium word, it is always we use for brain. So these are the nerves which arise from the brain and move to the other parts. Spinal nerves, they arise from the spinal cord. Next is now we are saying that cranial nerves are there, spinal nerves are there. These nerves further, they are of mainly of two types depending on their function, but we are going to define three types here, right? Depending upon the function, they mainly are of two types, but there is the another type of nerve which exists, that is the mixed nerve. So mainly in our books, in many books, you will find only two nerves, that is the afferent and efferent, but other third type which is also present, that is the mixed nerves. Afferent nerves or sensory nerves, sensory, it means afferent or sensory nerves are what? They carry impulses from sensory organs to CNS. It is very very much clear from their name, that sensory. So sensory organ से जो CNS का connection है, that is with the afferent nerves. Motor nerves means अब CNS is sending its some information and that has to reach to the organs. So जैसे we talked about even in the muscle contraction, so that time which kind of nerves they will play a role? Efferent, right? Efferent, they carry impulses from CNS to organs. Now CNS to organs, right? Here look at this word, CO E. कौन सी साउंड बनी? Echo sound, right? So when this word comes like echo, just look here, echo sound, right? It means we are talking about efferent nerves carry the signal from CNS to organs, right? You just need to understand that, learn the word echo. Echo means we are talking about from CNS to organs. Okay, so here, what is the method to learn them? So as you can see, that is A, S, C. Means any word you can see. Aman is cool boy. Right? Aman is so cool. या फिर you can simply जो मैं use करती हूँ, that is Aman so cool. Aman is so cool. Right? So that means afferent nerves, they carry impulses from sensory organs to CNS, and the efferent is very easy, that is echo. Efferent means from CNS to organs, right? So cool. Aman is so cool. That will be your afferent nerves. Efferent, echo word. Mixed nerves, actually that is a mix. They carry the both the signals. They act as the afferent nerve also. They transmit the impulses from sensory organs, as well as they act as the efferent nerves also. That is why we are calling them as a mixed nerves. But basic on the function, they are afferent and efferent. Now second type is our PNS, right? Second type of system is PNS. PNS is mainly, that is of two types, that is our somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Somatic, which is associated with your skeletal muscle, so it control which action? Skeletal muscle, so it's under our control, so it control voluntary action. Abhi just पढ़ के आ रहे हैं हम locomotion and movement, so you are very clear with this point. So somatic nervous system, they regulate, they control voluntary action. It means they control, they regulate skeletal muscle. Autonomic nervous system, it controls involuntary muscles which are present in our visceral organs as well as the cardiac muscle. They are controlled by autonomic nervous system. Now this autonomic nervous system, it is further of two types, parasympathetic and sympathetic. Sympathetic, we know it works under stress condition. I told you many times that when your body needs sympathy, that is when you are under stress. So under stress condition, which your system will work? Sympathetic. And working is controlled by which neurotransmitter? That is, which hormone is released? Adrenaline. Which chemical is released that time? Adrenaline. Parasympathetic work under the normal condition, and its working is controlled by neurotransmitter, that is normally, that is the acetylcholine. When you are under the normal condition, then parasympathetic will work. And which neurotransmitter that will be released, that will control this parasympathetic action? That is the acetylcholine. Now there is another one system which is called visceral nervous system. From this system, question comes in your NEET examination. It is again one of the part of PNS, right? See, PNS is also divided into two divisions depending on the function. One is its motor division, which take care of the somatic, and which is taken care by the somatic and autonomic and the sympathetic and parasympathetic. One portion is our sensory. One portion is the sensory division. Motor means efferent, right? Efferent is echo, and sensory, afferent. Afferent is means Aman is so cool, right? So there this sensory, so visceral nervous system kya hai? Basically which deals with the sensory part, which is it is the part of nervous system but which deals with the sensory information, like stretching, pain. I will write here if this is not visible to you. Stretch, pain, temperature, any chemical changes, irritation, right? Irritation in internal organs, nausea, hunger. So basically taste, smell, that is controlled by that message from the sensory to the peripheral nervous system. It is sent by the visceral system. If we are talking about touch, pain, pressure, temperature, skin, body, limbs, basically hearing, vision, equilibrium. These points or these changes in our body, they are that messages, they are carried by somatic sensory system. So visceral nervous system, basically it includes the various fibers, it includes the various ganglia which send the signal to the peripheral nervous system, right, from sensory organs to the nervous system. So that is about the visceral nervous system. Now, before we go into detail, there are few points we need to know, that gray matter and white matter, these all also two points which are important. The term gray matter, it is given to the cell body of a neuron, plus it includes non-myelinated portion of the neuron. Non-myelinated, which is not covered with the myelin sheath, that area is known as gray matter, right? And white matter, it means it contains myelinated portion. And which part of the neuron is covered with myelinated? That is the axon part. So means axon part is our white matter, it has white matter. And cell body as well as dendrites, they do not have myelin sheath, so they will include gray matter. So two types of matter is observed in the basically brain with the neuron, that is the gray matter and white matter. If there is the cell body of the neuron and the any other part of neuron which is non myelinated, that will be having, that is the gray matter. If there is the myelinated part, that will has white matter. Now let's talk about the nervous system, the main structural and functional unit of nervous system, that all of you know, that is the neuron. It is a microscopic structure which has three main parts, that is the cell body, then is the dendrites, and the third is the axon. The main three parts of any neuron, that we all know, that it has three main parts: cell body, dendrites and axon. Let's talk one by one with them. Cell body, as you can see, what is cell body is having? One big round nucleus, right? It has nucleus, plus it has cytoplasm, it has cytoplasm also, plus it has, can you see these granular bodies which are even present in the dendrites also? These granular bodies, these are called Nissel's granules, they are also present in the cell body. So what is the role of Nissel granules? They are having ER as well as ribosomes, and these, that is why it is sometimes it play a very important role in protein synthesis also. See, then what is their role in the cell body? They transmit impulses around the whole body of the neuron, so that organisms, they can respond to the changes in the internal and external environment. So basically, when there is a change in the environment, either it's internal side in the body, or if there is some external change in the environment, that impulses around the body, they are spread by these Nissel's granules. They play a very important role in transmitting the information. And where are they present? These are the granular bodies which are present in the cell body. Dendrites now comes to the branch. As you can see, these branches which arises from our cell body, so short, not very long, they are short, but they are branched, as well as they are like the fibers, and they are coming out, so that is a outgrowth. And they are many, one after the other, one after the other, they are repeated, so they project out from the cell body. What are their characteristics? They are short, they are fibrous, they are outgrowth which comes out from the cell body. They also have Nissel's granules, and these help in transmitting the impulses towards the cell body, right? Next is the axon, the major long portion, long fiber and outgrowth which is coming out from our main part, from the cell body. From the cell body, as you can see that from the cell body, the main long fiber which is coming out is, it is our axon, and it is branched. Now look at the branched at the distal end. मैंने distal end बहुत बार नेफ्रॉन में भी आपको बोला है. distal means जो दूर होता है, D for दूर, distal end जो किससे दूर है, सेल बॉडी से दूर है. सो एट द डिस्टल एंड it terminates, it ended with a bulb like structure, round structure. And what are these structure known as? Synaptic knob. मतलब ended कहाँ क्या बन रहा है, end portion पे these bulb like portion they are present and these are called synaptic knob. And these synaptic knob, they are having synaptic वेसिकल्स. इनके अंदर अगर इनका स्ट्रक्चर देखें, सो बेसिकली दीज आर हैविंग साइनेप्टिकल वेसिकल्स विच कंटेन केमिकल्स. विच केमिकल शुड आई राइट? These are called neurotransmitter. That is why the release of chemicals at neuromuscular junction. One more time we will see. Long fiber outgrowth, branched at distal end, terminate with the synaptic knob, possess synaptic vesicles filled with the chemicals which is known as neurotransmitter, right? Next, the few points which you need to know that axons, these are the axon, long fiber, it transmit impulses away from cell body to the synapse, to the gap, basically between one neuron to the another neuron, and finally or to the कहाँ से लेके जाता है signal to the neuromuscular junction. So basically it is moving the impulses from the cell body or away from the cell body to the synapse. The last one is the types of neurons. Now you know about axons, you know about dendrites. So neurons, they can be mainly of three types: multipolar, bipolar, unipolar. Right, look at their name: multipolar, bipolar, unipolar. Multipolar, they are having mainly one axon and two or more dendrites in them, like this. This is the multipolar neuron, and look here that this is only one axon, but the multiple poles, right? Two more, three branches are there, right? So this is this is not only one pole. So basically this is the pole is what? It is the ending part, and here you can see the ending part is having multiple branches. So this is the multipolar neuron. And axon is only one. Now basically they are found in their cerebral area, in the main brain part, in the cortex area of cerebral. Bipolar में क्या है? Bipole means कितने poles? टू पोल्स को हम किसके साथ कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं? बेसिकली सेल बॉडी इसमें सेंटर में है, देखो, और एक साइड यहाँ पे, इस साइड हमारा क्या है? डेंड्राइट, वन पोल. दिस इज आवर सेकेंड पोल. सो कितना है? वन एक्सॉन, वन डेंड्राइट. It has one axon, one dendrite, but poles are, this is the cell body. So how many poles? Two poles. That is why it is known as bipolar, and it is found in the retina of eye. Then is the unipolar. Now look at this diagram. Unipolar. Look at the cell body. इसके pole iske end pe, we have to compare with the cell body, right? So can you see any type of projection, any kind of pole further extended from the cell body? No, there is nothing which is, so this is the ending part, and there is only and only one complete pole. So that is called unipolar, one complete axon only, and it is usually found in the embryonic stages, right? In the, not in the adult, not in the maturation stages, in the embryonic stages. So now is it clear that how these neurons they look like? Multipolars means many sides from which are arising, many sides which are arising from the cell body. Multipoles, by there is one, there is the another two poles only. And uni means only and only single pole, and this is only observed when there is the development is happening in the body. So that is why we are specifically mentioned that is in the embryonic stage. So this much is sufficient for the introductory part, and tomorrow we will discuss another important things from this chapter, but we will stick to our syllabus, right?